motivated. Get motivated. Get motivated. Hip hop motivated. Blowing wisdom on the mic with Sean Anthony. Get motivated. Get it right with Sean Anthony. Get motivated. Get motivated.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sean Anthony. You are listening to Flow of Wisdom Radio live on a January 17th, 2016. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are live on the Genesis Communications Network, streaming live online at gcnlive.com. My website is flowofwisdom.com. The toll-free number to call in at any time is 1-877-300-7645. That's 877-300-7645. Lots of information I want to share with you today. First thing I want to start off with Flint, Michigan. It is so sad what those residents are going through. Their water is poisoned. It is so sad, but thankfully now there's been some sort of resolution being moved forward with this. President Obama declared an emergency in Flint, Michigan. I know and understand that I do have listeners out there in the Michigan area. I've received callers, in previous shows from Flint and, of course, Detroit, where is my old stomping grounds, my old home in Detroit. But this is just sad. This is really sad. According to the Detroit Free Press, President Barack Obama on Saturday declared a federal emergency in Flint, freeing up $5 million in federal aid to immediately assist with the public health crisis, but he denied Governor Rick Snyder's request for a disaster declaration. A disaster declaration, the Detroit Free Press continues on with, would have made larger amounts of federal funding available more quickly to help Flint residents whose drinking water is contaminated with lead. But under federal law, only natural disasters such as hurricanes and floods are eligible for disaster declarations, federal and state officials said. The lead contamination of Flint's drinking water is a man-made catastrophe. End quote. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put ourselves in the shoes of the people in Flint, Michigan for just a moment. Can you imagine what the people are going through? And apparently this has been going on for some time. This is just becoming on the national radar over the past week, from my understanding. I remember that there was a water situation in West Virginia, in Charleston, West Virginia, a couple of years ago. And I have family out there. I reached out to my cousin out there to get a little inside word and, and what's going on. How are they able to manage? And it's just scary. Water is one of the main survival things that we need as a human being. Water. And isn't it amazing that we live on a water planet? This planet is 75% water. But because of these greedy, power-hungry elitists that try to control natural resources and cut it off and limit it to certain people, you have situations like this in Flint. You have situations like where there's a drought in California. You have situations where people are dying of starvation and from lack of water in Africa and other third world countries. Listen, don't buy into the whole narrative that the planet is becoming overpopulated. Okay? Yeah, the total population is estimated around 7 billion people on the planet Earth. See, I believe in the principles that be fruitful and multiply. Seed time and harvest time will always be. Those type of things will always be. You can always plant seeds and reap a harvest. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning that you can always replenish. But when you have people that have power, influence, and control over resources, they limit it to the majority, and then they put the propaganda in the media making you think that it is limited resources. Don't ever buy into that. And, with all these genetically modified organisms in foods and everything, you're getting fruits and vegetables grown with no seeds. That's perversion. That's not normal. Fruits and vegetables, they come with seeds. So you take those seeds, you save them up, plant them in the ground, boom. They grow, you eat, and you repeat the cycle. Don't buy into that narrative that there's a shortage. Yeah, there may be a shortage because somebody's blocking it. So don't get it twisted. But put yourself in the shoes of the residents of Flint, Michigan. I was reading an article a few days ago, and the lady was talking about how she has to drive her kids from Flint to Detroit just to give her kids a bath once or twice a week. They can't bathe in it. She said the only time they use water at their home is to flush and wash their hands. And when I read that, I questioned. I was like, man, is that even safe to wash your hands with? It's just sad. What are your thoughts on this, guys? 877-300-7645. What if that hit your town? Or are you in Flint? Or are you in Michigan and nearby? It's just amazing. And according to this article, this lead contamination of Flint's drinking water is a man-made catastrophe. It's crazy. Again, the Detroit Free Press. The president's actions authorized the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, to coordinate responses and cover 75% of the costs for much-needed water, filters, filter cartridges, and other items for residents, capped initially at $5 million. The president also offered assistance in finding other available federal assistance, a news release Saturday from the White House said. Snyder, who on Thursday night asked President Obama for federal financial aid in the crisis through declarations of both federal emergency and federal disaster, said in a news release Saturday he appreciates Obama granting the emergency requests and supporting Flint during this critical situation. I have pledged to use all state resources possible to help heal Flint, and these additional resources will greatly assist in efforts underway to ensure every resident has access to clean water resources. Well, Snyder, my question to you is, how did it get to this situation in the first place? Apparently, according to sources, that how it happened was they switched the water supply to the river, and we're talking about lead, guys. Remember, it's illegal to put lead paint in your houses now because they found out how poisonous it is and harmful to your health. We're talking about a water supply. And we're worrying about terrorists from other parts of the world. If this is a man-made catastrophe, that's a terrorist act, isn't it? To poison a city's water supply? Think about it. Do you guys agree? You disagree? Let me know. But this should cause the country to be in an outrage. It really should. And those public officials, who the governor, the mayor, or whatever, whoever dropped the ball on this, they need to be held accountable. Because apparently there's been some residents that has, what is this called? The Legionnaire's disease reports, and there's been a few fatalities. This was back in Early last week, it was reported in MLive.com that Flint residents, once concerned about the lead levels in their drinking water, now face a new fear with increased cases of Legionnaire's disease in Genesee County. The governor, Snyder, announced that a spike in cases of Legionella bacteria has been discovered, and following the switch to Flint River water as the city's main drinking source. As of the 13th, when this particular article was published, the state said there were 87 cases and 10 fatal occurred in the Flint area from June of 2014 to November of 2015, but said there's no evidence of a clear link between the outbreak and the water system change that caused an uproar over elevated lead levels found in Flint children. However, the Virginia Tech University professor who spent months studying Flint's water problem says that the failure to treat Flint River water to make it less corrosive could have set off an outbreak of Legionnaire's disease here. This is crazy, guys. And these people in position, most of them, they get off scot-free. We're talking about poisoning thousands of people here. Thousands of people are at risk. It makes you question, how safe is my water here in my home? I know there's some preppers out there that can call in and offer some suggestions. Of course, filtration sources. Chime in. Let me know. 877-300-7645. Coming up also later on in the show, the U.S. government has an internet kill switch, and they say it's none of your business. We'll be back with more on Flow of Wisdom. Toll-free number is 1-877-300-7645. Call in with your thoughts, questions, comments, concerns about this situation in Flint, Michigan. The water is tainted. What do you do? What would you do if you were living in a city and your water was totally contaminated? I mean, this is just horrifying when you think about what these people in Flint are going through. Like I said in the previous segment, one lady I read in an article that said she had to take her kids, drive them to Detroit once or twice a week just to give them a bath. What do you do in that situation? And let's not even talk about Detroit. Detroit's water situation is there's residents that have been without water because of the rates are so high there that people can't even afford it. It's crazy. It's so much corruption on a local level there, and of course, there's lots of corruption on the federal level. But it's just sad. It's really sad. You got people that are in control of certain supplies, just basic needs. Food, clothing, and shelter. Water, food, clothing, and shelter are basic needs. And yet we have so many homeless people and so many vacant houses in this country. It does not make sense. There should be no homeless situation in the United States of America. And let me tell you, when I lived in Detroit, man, the homeless situation there is serious, and they're bold too. The homeless people there, I'm all about giving back and sharing and stuff, but there's some of them just bold and rude, But then there are those that are really really in need, man. It's just sad that there's so many vacant homes in our country, and there's homeless people. But it's crazy. Controlling the water supplies. It's contaminated. Lead poisoning. Yeah. Also, coming up on the show, as I mentioned, we're going to talk about this government internet kill switch. And Epic is an organization that have been fighting it. And, Epic is the Electronic Privacy Information Center. I've interviewed several people from that organization. It's a nonprofit organization. It's like a group of lawyers and attorneys that fight cybersecurity. They fight privacy on the internet for us. They fight these corporations and the government legally to, pretty much protect our privacy and our information. And we're going to get into that because apparently they had this internet kill switch that was not discovered. It was in secret. But apparently the Supreme Court declined to hear a petition about it from Epic last week. So I'm going to get into that here in the next segment. It is a little bit more information that I want to share with you on that. But it's something that I think that we definitely need to know about, because if there's an internet kill switch and then there's a switch to shut down cellular communication, what do you do when martial law kicks in? What would happen if martial law is declared? Well, I'm going to give you a list on what's going to happen if martial law is declared. And if you go back in time, a couple of years ago, when the Boston bombing took place and how they shut down the city of Boston and they ran up in people's homes looking for the suspects, that's what martial law looks like. You've seen it on your TV. Do you think it was a litmus test to see how it would go? How people would react? See, it's one thing when, they use fear. They use fear to usher in their agenda to get you to support and be behind them. Yes, the bomber, you're looking for the bomber. Well, come right on in. Look under my mattress. Look behind my refrigerator. Look in my basement. Look in my attic. You don't need a search warrant. Come on in and look, because I want you guys to find this bomber. Yo, we're going to take your calls and talk more about this after this on Flow of Wisdom Radio. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Flow of Wisdom Radio. I am your host, Sean Anthony, live here on the Genesis Communications Network. Toll-free number to call is 877-300-7645. Yo, coming up on the next hour, I'm going to talk about some things that some may think is a little far-fetched or what have you, because I'm going to talk about space and NASA and asteroids and things of that nature. And some may try to dismiss it. Oh, come on, man. You're none of them conspiracy stuff like that. No. Y'all got to stop thinking like that. Because this stuff is real. It's going on. And in fact, there's a big rocket that took off. Elon Musk, the billionaire, sent his rocket up, and he's trying to land it. But anyway, I'm going to talk about that coming up. So don't miss it. On top of that, NASA has put together this coalition of searching out asteroids and attacking them, or destroying them before they can hit Earth. And plus, lots of mystery booms and bizarre sounds have been heard over the U.S. and abroad and other parts of the world. So we're going to talk about that coming up the second hour. So please stick around for that. But I want to move on about this U.S. government. I just put this question on my social media, on Twitter and Facebook, at Twitter at Sean_Anthony. The government, the U.S. government, has a kill switch and shuts down cell phone communication. What would martial law look like? Well, what is it going to look like? Well, first of all, the U.S. government, they do have this internet kill switch. And basically, it's none of your business. According to the Mint Press News, on Monday, the Supreme Court declined to hear a petition from the Electronic Privacy Information Center, which is EPIC, that sought to force the Department of Homeland Security to release details of a secret, quote, kill switch protocol to shut down cell phone and internet service during emergencies. Epic has been fighting since 2011 to release the details of the program, which is known as Standard Operating Procedure 303. And I covered this back in 2011 on the show. Amy Stepanovich, she used to work at Epic. She's moved on now to another organization. But I've had Amy Stepanovich on the show numerous times. You can go back on my archives on my YouTube channel, /Flow of Wisdom, and check out those interviews with Amy. Very informative. But Epic, they do great things for the American citizens. Epic writes, quote, on March 9th, 2006, the National Communications System approved SOP 303. However, it was never released to the public. This secret document codifies a shutdown and restoration process for use by commercial and private wireless networks during national crisis. Epic continues in 2006 through 2007 report. The President's National Security Telecommunications Advisory Committee indicated that SOP 303 would be implemented under the coordination of the NCC, the National Coordinating Center of the NSTAC, while the decision to shut down service would be made by state homeland security advisors or individuals at DHS, Department of Homeland Security. The report indicates that NCC will determine if a shutdown is necessary based on a series of questions. A series of questions? Really? It's crazy. So, despite Epic's defeat at the hands of the Supreme Court, the 4-year court battle yielded a heavily redacted copy of Standard Operating Procedure 303. So, look, Epic, what they do is they fight for transparency with these companies, these like Google and Facebook, and of course drones, cybersecurity, all of these different things. They go to battle for us on transparency and protecting our privacy. Let's go to the phone lines, 877-300-7645. Lars in California wants to talk about the water topic. Lars, welcome to Flow of Wisdom. How are you?
I'm doing great, Sean. God bless you, sir.
Thank you, man. What's your thoughts on this water situation in Michigan?
Well, actually, you're the first person that kind of made me aware of it. And right when you spoke of that, I thought in the Bible where it talks about bitter waters. And I went to the scriptures in the book of Exodus 15:23. When they came to Mara, they could not drink the waters of Mara, for they were bitter. Therefore, the name of it was called Mara. And there's a lot of bitterness in America. There's a lot of bitterness in the earth. And we're at a time right now, Sean, that we need to know the war isn't coming. It's here.
Yeah.
The Civil War has never ended. It's continued. And this is just another sign of why the waters are, becoming polluted and bitter.
Man, that is a great point, Lars. And I couldn't agree with you more. And the sad thing about it, Lars, is that some people don't want to, or they just don't see the writing on the walls. And the more anger and bitter that people become, and the evilness is just running rampant, man. And there's nothing good that can come from that.
Well, there is, and that's what I'm here to tell you, that there is, because the war isn't coming; it's here. And in the book of Ephesians, it says we don't wrestle against people or flesh and blood, but most people do because they're bitter. And I was bitter for many, many years, for 44 years, and then I finally repented and turned to the Lord, and He filled me with joy. He filled me with living water. And we're in a war right now, and the enemy actually is losing, but unfortunately the masses, because God said, the road of destruction is broad and many go that way, but we still have an opportunity, brother, and that's why you're on the airways. Revelation 8:11, and the name of the star is called wormwood, and 1/3 parts of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of the waters because they were made bitter, or Mara. So it's a spiritual condition. And one thing I can speak of, Michigan, I went up there a couple years ago, and we know that Dearborn, I believe, is kind of the epicenter of, Muslims. And the Lord's showing me, I love witnessing to Muslims because I know I have the truth. They have a part of the truth, but they don't have all the truth. And if we go without bitterness to the ones that have bitterness, with the sweetness of God Almighty by the Spirit of God. That's what brings living water.
Love. Yep. You know, you're right, man. And thank you for that correction. And basically what I was saying is that, you know, of course, the good is coming, because I read the end of the story as well, the end of the book as well. But we got to go through some trials and tribulations, you know, and that's what I was saying as far as, you know, nothing's good going to come out of people being bitter and then just walking in lust and sin and hatefulness and all of those things.
Absolutely. And, you know, I'm going to my car to get my shofar, because I want to sound the shofar over the airways. And what I learned about whatever the devil hates, I love to do. And I was told that the shofar really, and I'll give you the three shouts that the enemy has to go, and then I'll give you one tekiah. All right?
All right.
And so whatever it is the Lord gives us and we do, he does the rest.
Amen. Sound the trumpet. Lars, thank you for the call, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Amen. Micah 3 to the listeners.
Say that again?
Micah 3 to your listeners.
Gotcha. Micah 3.
All right, brother. God bless you, sir.
You too, Lars. Lars in California, sounding the trumpet, man. How about that? Breaking up the monotony. I like that, man. I was not expecting a call like that, and I'm cool with that. You know, but that's the thing about this platform, A Flow of Wisdom. Man, sounding the trumpet. Micah, we got to check that out. You know, Lars brought up a great point. Bitterness. That bitter water. Wow. That was profound, man. That was good stuff. You know, and you got to get your heart ready, people. I mean, you know, for those that have been listening to me for a while, you know, I'm consistent with saying certain things, and I'll continue to be consistent. You got to get your lives right. You know, sowing your flesh and enjoying the things of this world is temporary. It's temporary. Got to start dealing with things that's long-lasting, eternal. But it is a battle. We are definitely in a battle. And you look at what's going on now in the media. It's like Isaiah. What's good is bad, and what's bad is good. You know, what's right is wrong, and what's wrong is right. Like, everything is being perverted. And you have to see it. And when you start accepting it, then you're a part of it now. You got to turn away. You have to turn away. You know, I was reading The Guardian, and they were talking about this article. They were in this article in The Guardian. They were talking about the Royal Bank of Scotland was warning folks of a cataclysmic year with telling people that there's going to be a stock market crash. And that, you know, you should sell everything. They were saying investors are forced, they're facing a cataclysmic year where stock markets could fall up to 20% and oil could slump into $16 a barrel. According to the Royal Bank of Scotland, they're warning folks. Said sell everything except for high quality bonds. Said this is about return of capital, not return on capital. Like, this is crazy. So what happens when the economy tanks out again? Oil prices are going down. Stock markets is crashing. The water supplies is tainted. You know, they hit the kill switch on the internet and cell phone, stopping your communication. Then they usher in martial law. Well, what would happen if martial law is declared? Well, I got a little list here, a short little list I'm going to share in the next segment. Don't miss it. Call in with your thoughts, 877-300-7645. I'm Sean Anthony. You're listening to Flow of Wisdom Radio. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Flow of Wisdom Radio. I am your host, Sean Anthony, live on the Genesis Communications Network. I got to send a big shout out before I continue on to Identity Stronghold. Shouts out to the people at Identity Stronghold. You guys got to get you an RFID blocking wallet right now. Go to their website, idstronghold.com. They took good care of me, man, and sent me my wallet for as I'm about to travel abroad here real soon, and I'll share more details on that probably next week. But it's a RFID blocking wallet. You know, all of these new credit cards now and banking cards, debit cards, even your IDs, passport IDs. They now are implanting these RFID chips in your card so that, you know, they claim it's more secure and more safe. And maybe it is, but then again, maybe it isn't, because now with these RFID chips, people can steal your information wirelessly now. And if you don't have them protected in your wallet, like you could pull out your RFID chip implanted card, credit card, or what have you, and someone can have a device and just, you know, go close to you and boom, transfer your information into their device that quick, you know. So, and they can do it while it's in your wallet. You know, if they see the menu, if you carry your wallet in your back pocket and somebody see the bulge, they can go up against you, real close to you without even really touching you, and use their wireless device and steal your credit card information because of these RFID chips that are now in these credit cards. But with the RFID blocking wallets, you can get them right now in it. You know, you just protect yourself. So go to idstronghold.com, shout them out, let them know, you know, that you heard it from Flow of Wisdom about it. And, yeah, get you one. They got little small purses too for women as well. So get it, man. Get it, guys, ladies and gentlemen. So anyway, the question I was asking you before the end of the last break, what would happen if martial law is declared? Well, first, let me explain what martial law is. It's the suspension of civil authority and the imposition of military authority. And the military authorities will act as police, as the court, as the legislator. The commander of the military will then act as the president. It has been argued that the president could take it upon himself to declare martial law. There are some executive orders, I believe, that I have to go back and look at my old notes, but if the president declares a natural disaster, if I'm not mistaken, the president, whoever's in charge of FEMA, will then be in charge. So what is it going to look like under martial law? Well, first of all, the United States Constitution is going to be suspended. Okay. Your civil rights will be suspended. There's a suspension of civil law. There's no freedom of the press, no freedom of assembly, no freedom of speech. Curfews are going to be enforced on the people, and we've seen little trinkets and little examples of this lately over the past several years in our nation. In fact, martial law has been implemented before in numerous cities and at different times. But no freedom of speech. Curfews are going to be enforced on the people. Troops are going to be in the streets for enforcement. If you thought it was one thing for those that are listening in Missouri and St. Louis or Ferguson or whatever, when you see tanks and military vehicles patrolling the streets, imagine that happening in every major city in America. That's a chilling sight I'll tell you, like I've said before, I flew right after 9/11 happened, and it was just shocking to see military personnel, our armed forces, holding M16s in the airport. That's not a settling feeling, ladies and gentlemen. But those are some of the things that's going to happen under martial law. Stick around. Hour 2. Please join the discussion, guys. We're going to talk about NASA forming this new office to detect earthbound asteroids. Plus, Elon Musk, he shoots out his rocket. We got details on that and so much more. The second hour, 877-300-7645. We'll be back right after this on Floor of Wisdom Radio.